Again, I'm gonna do an insight video again today. Again, I'm getting a lot of stuff over the last couple of days around anchoring in light, anchoring in energy, anchoring in new energies. Very much for sort of like individually, so we activate our light bodies, but we also activate energy for the planet. The more I sort of like, the more I'm going into the spiritual journey at the moment, the more this aspect of like infinite self or multi-dimensional self and like source energy seems to be coming up more and more as they start to connect in. Again, I feel very sort of light and bright and vibrant at the moment, um, and sort of like it's definitely a shift in vibration as I start to connect to these newer energies. They're very much around. I've been talking about transmutation and transformation, and that very much is still at the forefront of these vibrations that are coming through. My consciousness is shifting very quickly at the moment, sort of where I'm before I was getting stuck in sort of very much sort of like 3D sort of issues and realities where it's very much around sort of like the external world. That's definitely starting to sort of like dissolve more and more the more practice I'm doing at the moment, and the more I'm sort of like opening to these newer energies that are coming in. The anchoring is really really important, because all of us are sort of these light beings and these light workers, in a sense that we've all come to the planet, and we all sort of like incarnated for that reason, is to shift and change this reality, to bring it back into the universal reality, back into the spiritual reality and dimensional realities, and that's why we came here. We are having a human experience, of course, but we're also sort of like we're open up to like this multi-dimensional aspect of self, that very much like lives in many different realities and many different realms at once, and that's definitely something that's coming online more and more for me as I'm starting to go for my own sort of like spiritual sort of development and expansion, and as I start to become more aware, and I feel it's becoming more of a conscious thing that, the more like every day now the more of it is sort of like it's trying to it's being in a state where you're starting to sort of like really sort of know and start to really sort of integrate that sense of that multi-dimensional aspect of self as I start to shift into it, as more and more as I'm sort of like having these this space where I'm sort of becoming more connected. It's very much becoming more and more around that. Today I felt very strongly around light energy and light bodies and how they were activated, and again they were working in union, like, the more it was activated, the more it was holding within my physical body, within my human experience, but it was also dissolving again. It was dissolving, and it was transforming, and it was shifting and changing, my reality in that moment. And as we start to talk about like this creator aspect or this creation aspect of being, and as that starts to come online, it's very much around that when you start to sort of come into your energy. And again, the more I feel about, the more I sort of get into this beingness and this sort of like this source aspect or this light energy, the more it's sort of like the more the external world is not relevant in that way. The more that you start coming into it, you more start becoming sort of like aligned with your spiritual nature. And when that starts to happen, I mean, like I said, a lot of people are talking about attraction, creation, stuff like that. I do really feel like when you're in that state of being where we're connected to your source energy, it just happens. It's a natural flow. It's a natural flow of energy. It's a natural flow of dissolving. And when you're vibrating at that, you don't really feel like you need anything. What you're just in this space of harmony. You're in this space of peace. So there's as I go through this sort of like I'm reading or seeing a lot of, shifting and changing within the spiritual communities about creation and creator and manifestation. But there's also an aspect of myself, my being at the moment, that when I'm in that state of being where I am connected to my source and my energy and my light, I I know things are there. It's like that. It's like I don't. Things are flowing. I don't need to sort of like create anything, because actually the experience of being in that state is enough. I don't need anything. I don't need to create anything. Um, and so there's a little bit of a sort of like a contradiction going on with with my own sort of like journey in that way, because when people talk about creation and manifestation and the law of attraction, I just feel when you're in that state of being, you're vibrating at such a perfect sort of frequency that you don't really feel like you need anything. You just, you know, what to me it's like the purpose is being in that state, and the more you can do that, the more that the worries don't really affect you, because actually what you're doing is you're just vibrating on that frequency where um, you're vibrating with your true nature. So there isn't a sense of needing or wanting to create anything. You're just being it. You're just being your spiritual self. And again, this is what I was talking about, and I feel this is what I've just been led on to, and I've been directed to talk about. When we talk about like on your spiritual journey, when you start, a lot of people talk about walking with spirit. Well, actually, it's the more this sort of creation and this source sort of aspect of self and the multi-dimensional self starts to manifest and integrate within this human experience, you don't walk as with spirit, you are spirit. So it's more like the more that you connect to this spiritual self, the less need there is to really sort of try and sort of like go out and try and seek something, because you've already got it. You're already here. And I think this is one of the key things of this new kind of shift. Now we've known this, like, and there's been many people that have talked about this. Many sort of spiritual people talk about it, but it's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of connection when you start to actually start to be it. And there's a lot of things that are going on in my life that are all sort of like external stuff that are very sort of like transient sort of stuff, that when I'm in that state of being, those things that I'm attached to, that I'm holding on to, have no meaning anymore. They don't really have any impact or any meaning or any power. The only thing that really has power is that being in that state of being where you're connected to your source. And then once you're vibrating in that and you're in that energy and light, that there is nothing to seek, there's nothing to go to attach to, there's nothing to try and create, because you're being your spiritual self. And again, I've been talking about this for a while now. I've been talking about like stepping into your power, and I think this is part and the aspect of it. When you step into that aspect of being with your true spiritual self, you're connected and you're aligned. You don't need to do anything else. You're just vibrating. As I sit in this energy at this particular moment right now, I just feel this beautiful like vibration just going like this. It's just going like this, or like within my human form. But I know that's my spiritual self. I know that's my spiritual nature, and it's just vibrating, and it's so pleasant. It's so joyful. It's so peaceful. And this is what I feel is like the purpose of it. When we start to do that, I'm very much being directed with the energies at the moment. It's like the last couple of days I've been walking into my place of work, and I've been anchoring in. Like I'm anchoring in the energy into myself. I'm also anchoring in within my workspace, and I'm looking at creating that kind of sacred space. But it's like it's bringing it as aligning, the spirit aspect, the energetic aspect of self, and I'm bringing it into the physical reality. And I'm doing a lot of that at the moment. And I'm doing that, and I'm walking into like my spaces, and I'm creating and vibrating as that spiritual aspect before I even while I'm doing it consciously. And that's the shift as well. I'm feeling a lot as well with like energy balls at the moment. I feel like a lot with energy balls. Like I feel like they're around me, that they're surrounding me. And then like I said, when I was doing this kind of work yesterday of anchoring in, and I feel it now as I'm sitting there and talking to you. It's like my hands are buzzing. I just feel like my two hands are these massive energy balls that are just buzzing with this beautiful, pure sort of like energy. And it's like it's bringing online like your energy centers. You're activating your physical body to your energetic bodies. And it's very much sort of like this is the kind of impressions I'm getting at the moment as I start to link into these new kind of energies, like in these workspaces that I'm sitting in, is I'm feeling like a massive ball of like it feels like a massive ball of purple light, and it just sort of like it surrounds and it anchors into the whole room, the whole space. And then when I start to connect into it, then it's flowing out into all spaces everywhere. So there's so much around sort of anchoring at the moment, and I feel this is really, really important. And as I anchor, it anchors to my heart, it anchors to my center. As I'm sitting there and talking now, I feel like my heart center is starting to vibrate, and it's open and it's expressing. But my physical body is also then aligning, and it's activating to this new light energy. It's like my physical body disappears and what's left is light, energy and vibration. That a light, an energy and a vibration. It's like it's vibrating to a different frequency. And I feel this is what's going on for a lot of us, and I feel there's a very different experience for a lot of us at the moment, and we're all awakening to different things. And when people talk about your quality or your piece or the puzzle, what you're bringing, some people are here to manifest, and some people are here to talk about creation. Some people are here to talk about Akashic records, Akashic or Akashic records, yeah. Some people are here to talk about that. Some other people are here to talk about other things, and they're all connected. They're all part of what signatures and frequencies are being brought down to the planet. Each and every one of us are activating and bringing online our frequency that is needed. So each one of us, like we said about souls and like the soul signatures and stuff like that, or soul pieces, each of us has a soul frequency, and each of our frequency is needed to be activated to create a new frequency, a new vibration on the planet. And this is what each and every one of us are doing at the moment, and this is part of what I'm doing. This is part of my journey, is to keep, you know, keep sort of like experiencing and sharing, and then sort of like sending that energy out there. Because when I'm talking about these kind of things, they you know, anything like this holds a signature, it holds a frequency, and that energy, that frequency of what we're talking about is building. The energy is building a new blueprint, a new sort of like vibration for the planet. And when I'm talking about this, what I feel is that when you're listening to this vibration then activates, or it connects to your frequency or your vibration, yeah, your frequency in you, and then it will help to align your frequency. And when your frequency aligns, then you'll open up and you'll activate, and then you'll speak to somebody else, and then somebody else will activate. And it's like all of these kind of things where we're starting to really start to come online. All of us are starting to come online, and we're starting to bring our own frequency and our own sort of vibration. And each and every one of us needs to do that, because each and every one of our frequencies and vibrations are what needed, and each of it, like I said, is a piece of the puzzle that creates this new blueprint, this new sort of like reality that is needed on the planet. And each and every one of us are doing that. So I think the message is to remember that each and every one of you has a vibration, a frequency, and a quality that when you activate it, it is part of the whole. It's part of what's needed for the planet. So each and every one of us spiritually, in our own spiritual vibration and nature, has value, but also has a piece of the puzzle. So each and every one, that's why it's all of us need to vibrate, all of us need to be activated, all of us need to sort of come online, because it's, you know, we all have something to bring. We all have, this is why we're here, you know. Every single soul of us that are on this planet now have incarnated for a reason, and we've incarnated for this time, this space now, to create that energy, create that vibration that's needed. So if you're thinking in your life and you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, where am I going? What am I doing? Or what value is my life? Each and every one of us brings something. This is why we're here. We're not here by chance. We're here by design. That's what I want to say. We're not here by chance. We're here by design. So in each and every one of us, this is what this time's about. So like when we come online, we start to then vibrate, and we start to bring our own energy, and that helps to shift, and it helps to align with the planetary energy. And once we can all start to align with the planetary energy, then we can start to align more with the universal energies and the universal realities that are already around us. So this is what this time's about. So that's the insight for today. Please check out my Facebook page. like, subscribe, please comment. I'd love some comments because I know that other people are going through this anchoring at the moment. And I'd love people to share some of their experiences, and then this is how we could build even more energy, by discussing what's going on with each and every one of us. Have a great day.